Hi, welcome back to Jenny's Creation. Today tutorial has a mixture of glitter, vinyl, a water slide decal. Just a fun, cute design, can be done many different ways. I hope you like it. If you do, please subscribe to my page and give me a thumbs up. Thanks. Alright, here I am doing my sanding that I do every time. I use vinyl sand. I will have a description below. Give it a good sanding and then rinse it off, give it a good drying, and you are ready to go. Alright, I'm using a 30 thick from Maker Flow. So here I'm kind of marking out the dimensions I want. I wanted my decal in the center of the cup. Then I wanted a layer of glitter above and below, and then vinyl at the very top and very bottom. So this little tool came from Amazon. It has it holds your pen to give straight lines. It has a cutter. It's really cool. But so I'm just drawing out my lines here. I kind of just made a dot with my pen, and this kind of helps me get it straight. That way I can tape off whatever I don't want exposed when I start painting for my glitter. And so now I'll just start. I sometimes use masking tape. Right here I'm using electrical. It does a really good seal around it. So I'm going to tape off. What I'm taping off is going to be yellow in the end. And I will paint the other 3 squares, or not really squares, around the cup white. Because the center will have a white glitter, and then the top and bottom will actually have a vinyl covered it. So I'm gonna hand paint this with some chalk paint with white, just so I wouldn't have to go outside and spray paint. It kind of saves time if it's raining or whatever. But you can kind of do this however you want. But like I said, I use the chalk paint. I have found that with chalk paint though, you may want to seal it before you put epoxy. It will repel. So I just repeat this until I get all 3 spots completely white. So here I'm just going to remove that electrical tape. The chalk paint has dried. Probably did 2 coats of that, just depending, especially on that center one. Not as much worried about the top and bottom because it will be covered with vinyl. Not even sure. I think I had another plan for this cup, because thinking about it, I don't know why I would have painted just to put a vinyl over it. I think I had a different thought process, but the yellow glitter that I used was a different color than what I actually had planned. So come to think of it, I think I did have a different plan for this cup. But anyway, so really make sure wherever you're going to put glitter that it has a very good smooth coverage, because some glitters will show through. So here I'm just painting yellow. This is yellow chalk paint as well. It don't have to be perfect. I will be doing vinyl lines around this, so I'll kind of clean that up at the end. But you kind of just repeat this on both. You can tape it off if you want. Like if you don't want the vinyl lines, you can tape it off to where you get a crisp line. But I'm not really worried about that, because I'm gonna put some lines there. Alright, so here I'm using the Mod Podge method. I'm going to be applying my yellow glitter now. I did tape off to where it would not go over where the vinyl will be, and then my middle will be white glitter, so I didn't want it getting onto there either. I went ahead, with Mod Podge you don't have to remove the painter's tape right then, but I went ahead and did that. So I'm just going to repeat this process. Probably let it dry completely and then seal it with either some clear spray paint, the clear gloss spray paint, or either some Mod Podge over the top to make sure that glitter does not move around when I go to apply my white in between it. Alright, so here I'm going to be applying my vinyl. I just measured and cut. I kind of usually go around it with it, like put it up against the cup. You'll probably be able to see it on the first one. I think I chopped the first little part of that off. Just like I said, the vinyl lines are going to help a lot. So just see here, I'm measuring it, and I do the hinge method. Just take maybe just a little bit off the top where you'll have a little bit of sticky to get yourself, and I just wrap it all the way around before I take all the backing off to kind of make sure I'm lined up. You want to leave a little bit of the cup exposed at the top. You can see a little bit of the white. That way when you're ready to sand, to give your stainless steel exposed where the epoxy will adhere to it, that you're not sanding into your vinyl. You are sanding into your spray paint. So that will help you when you start to sand, not to ruin your vinyl.
This is a 20 ounce straight. We're going to do epoxy on the top of this. I'm leaving the top and bottom.
Alright, so I forgot to record the part where I put the white glitter on the center, and this has 2 coats of the Quick Cure Illuminolights epoxy. You want it smooth, that way when you go to put your vinyl stripping that you don't have lumps and bits of epoxy up under it. I've probably already sanded at this point too. I'm not really sure, I can't tell from the video, but I cut these on my Cricut. I put it, this size right here is 0.20 by 11.5. I love doing the stripes because it really, if you mess up on your lines, it really helps just mask that totally off. I will be going back over the top of these with a 0.10, I think, by 11.5, and you can just trim those off. I like doing 11.5, that way you have plenty of working room. I kind of eyeball it. I just try to make sure it's even from each other all the way across, and you don't want it kind of going up and down because you can tell that. But yeah, just repeat this. You can do as many lines as you want. It don't even have to be on the painted lines. I see people do them above them, below them. Just kind of give your own touch to it. But I didn't want just holographic. I wanted something to throw off all the, there's a lot of colors going on, so I just did a small white piece of vinyl on top of this. so here we're going to apply our clear water slide. You want to make sure wherever you're putting the clear water slide that it is a glossy finish. If you've already sanded, you may want to spray it with a clear gloss spray paint, because if you put it on a matte surface, you will see the edges. So make sure that it's on a gloss. These are really, really simple. I print them out on my inkjet, and then I spray them with the, I think it's a 2 times clear spray paint. That may be the 2 times, maybe the regular spray paint, but anyway. So I just do about 3 coats of that to seal it. Don't touch it because the ink will move. On this design, I've seen people do this. I decided to try it. I don't know, I'm a little in limbo about it, but if you go ahead and put a second image right over that, it will make it brighter. Some images I didn't like it. This one wasn't too bad because the vinyl was kind of bright, so it went with it pretty good. But that's an option. It don't take 2. But if you're not really satisfied with your image, you can always add that second. Do it immediately because it does shrink as it dries a little bit, and you want them to shrink together. Like, you don't want them to do one and do another. I wouldn't trust that process. So I just go immediately into it and make sure there's no water up under the images, and be real careful. I've been doing this for a while, but don't move your images because they will still move if they're not starting to dry. Alright, so here we are. This is going to be our final coat of epoxy. I'm using Illuminlight's Ultra UV with the UV protection in it. Probably use 2 more coats, let this sit about 6 to 8 hours, and then go in with a second coat. I didn't record for some reason, but I did tape off my bottom, and I didn't like the white, so I did it like a blue to where it would blend a little better with the vinyl. But so I'm just gonna let this cure, and that's it. Thank y'all for joining me today.